Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. For the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. Lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime, and departing leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. Still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait. Know how sublime a thing it is to suffer and be strong, for time will teach thee soon the truth. There are no birds in last year's nest. The 1991 World Series featuring the Atlanta Braves and the Minnesota Twins. Imagine two last-place teams from 1990 in the World Series 1 year later. It had never before happened to one team, much less two. But as baseball looked out on the 1991 World Series, there they were, the teams of Bobby Cox and Tom Kelly. Not one, but two Cinderella stories. There was Lonnie Smith, the veteran, incredibly playing in his fourth World Series with his fourth different team. In contrast, Chuck Knobloch, the Twins' rookie second baseman. Here he was, caught up in the biggest show in baseball in this, his first full season, playing before his brothers and sisters, his mom and his dad. Before game one, in a truly fitting gesture, the first pitch was thrown out by Steve Palermo, the courageous American League umpire who was shot and disabled in July while coming to the aid of a robbery victim. The affection for Palermo from both players and his brethren, at once genuine and touching. There was more goodwill for the Twins' starting pitcher, Jack Morris, a former Tiger who this season came home to roost.
Jack Morris grew up in Highland Park near here, watching Jim Cott, Mudcat Grant, Bob Allison, and Harmon Killebrew play for the Twins, and he dreamed of doing the same.
Well, Morris also had a dream first inning in game one. 3 up, 3 down. Opposing Morris in this first game was the crafty 12-year veteran Charlie Leibrandt, the only Brave starter with World Series experience. And one of his first tasks, quite appropriately, would be to face a man in the midst of his postseason baptism.
First of the night.
But Chuck's sisters weren't just satisfied with a single.
Beautiful, right out there. Steal, Chuck!
There goes the runner. A strikeout and a runner down to second base with 2 out.
Knobloch was left stranded at second as both Lee Brandt and Morris looked strong the first 2 innings. But in the third, with 2 men out, Dan Gladden, the Twins left fielder, walked and stole second. And Knobloch got another chance to do his family proud.
Dad says he's toughest when he's got 2 strikes on him.
Lee Brandt ahead on the count. Knobloch gets a hit. They got to play at the plate. 1-0 Minnesota. And Knobloch is tagged out.
It's something that a play that he likes to do, you know, especially with 2 outs. Now, 1 out, I might not have done it, but with 2 outs, you know, if I can get in scoring position right away or make them cut the ball like he did, then that assures us of a run. So, from the Twins' standpoint and from my standpoint, and especially from TK's, that was a good play. He was hoping that I was going to do that.
Thanks to Knobloch, the Twins had that all-important first run and threatened to make some more noise in the 5th. Following a double by Kent Hrbek, Scott Leyes lined a single to put runners on the corners with nobody out. In this precarious situation, the Braves' only solace was in knowing that the batter was a light-hitting Greg Gagne. Certainly not a home run threat, and certainly not thinking that way.
Don't try to, you know, be a hero or anything. Just try to hit the ball in between first and second. And wasn't really thinking, you know, I want the fastball and just the break and stuff, but I just reacted to the pitch that was in, and I ended up hitting out of the park.
Pretty well hit. This ball is going to go.
The Twins now led 4-0, but the inning wasn't over. And with Jim Clancy now on the mound, they loaded him up.
Now we have Gladden at third. Knobloch at second base. Chili Davis at first. And Brian Harper up into left field. And Hunter with an excellent play. A late tag by the runner. And he is out to end the inning as Olsen held the ball. So we end up with a 3-run 5th for Minnesota.
The first in a series filled with plays at the plate had failed for Minnesota, but they were now leading 4-0, and Morris appeared in total command. But in the 6th, the Braves began to feel their oats. First, a Jeff Treadway single, then a shot up the middle by Dave Justice. And with runners now on second and first, the Braves had a legitimate threat with Ron Gant at the plate.
And that ball is a base hit and past Gladden, and Atlanta gets a run.
Just like that, the Braves had brought the tying run to the plate.
That's Sid Bream. He's played for Pittsburgh. Come on, strike him out. Yes.
0 for 2, twice flying to left. We could make it a 1-run game or tie it.
A Kent Hrbek home run in the 6th gave the Twins a 5-1 lead. And as the game now moved into the 8th, a precautionary call went out to the bullpen in the event that Morris was beginning to tire. After all, the Twins' pen had not allowed an earned run in the championship series. And when Morris walked his first 2 batters, it was time for the hometown fans to pay homage to their hometown hero. But with 2 men on and nobody out, the Braves still held the cards. They trailed by 4, but had the dangerous Terry Pendleton at the plate. It was a most crucial situation for Mark Guthrie, and it was time for our old friend Knobloch to re-enter the picture.
Braves trailing 5-1, and a hard hit ball to Knobloch. They get 1, 2.
Yes, Chuck! Way to go, Chuck! Way to go, Chuck!
The Braves did score a run in the inning, but it could have been much worse for the Twins. And with a 5-2 lead in the ninth, Minnesota felt quite secure in having Rick Aguilera on the mound. He of 42 saves during the regular season.
That ball into left for Glenn. And the Twins have won the first game 5-2.
The Twins had gained the edge, thanks in part to a rookie who rose to the occasion in his first World Series game.
Nice button.
You don't like our button? Really? It's a bootleg picture.
Where's that picture from?
You don't remember taking it? Congratulations,
On what?
Good game.
Tomorrow's a new day. I'll see you guys later.
All right, way to go.
A new cast of characters took center stage for Game 2. 16-game winner Kevin Tapani would start for the Twins. And Tom Glavine, one of the 2 20-game winners in the National League, was set to go for the Braves. After Atlanta failed in the top of the first, the Twins were recipients of some injustice in the outfield.
Ups it up on the first one. Lemke going out, struggling to find it. Here comes the right fielder. It drops.
Talked about the roof before this series began, but I do not believe either player had a problem with the roof. I think this is just plain miscommunication. That is David Justice's ball all the way.
Braves manager Bobby Cox then saw his pitcher dig an even deeper hole with Knobloch at the plate.
2 on and nobody out. An error and a walk.
One thing that Glavine has going for him in a situation like this, Puckett led all major leaguers in hitting into double play ball 27 times.
That's a lot.
And Glavine throws a lot of sinkers and a lot of ground balls. He hopes it's at somebody.
Runners are going. And a ground ball to Pendleton. Steps on third, bounces it to first, 2 out.
We thought we were out of the inning. I said, golly, we picked him up real good here. Terry made a great play on a hit and run off of Puckett's bat, but we forgot about Chili Davis.
After a decade in the major leagues, this was the first World Series for Davis. And as he soon discovered, good things come to those who wait.
Chili Davis launches one. 2-0, Minnesota.
People just went berserk. They knew it was gone. I knew I hit the ball well. I think Glavine knew I hit it well. And when I got to first base and Brian Hunter ran into the fence in left field and the ball went over the fence, it was so loud in there. I never experienced anything like that. And the curtain call was something I'd never experienced before. It was exceptional. I felt chills going through me. it was a beautiful feeling, something you look forward to, you expect in a World Series game.
But Tapani gave up a run in the second on a sacrifice fly, and a lonesome battle cry began. And with one out in the third, Lonnie Smith sought to answer the cry with some action.
Off the glove of Leyes, probably an error, and Lonnie Smith runs the bases with one out.
But then came one of the more controversial plays in the entire series. Ron Gant was at the plate, and a single would put the runners at the corners with 2 men out. Or so it seemed.
Smith is going. And a hit to left by Gant. And Lonnie's trying. They're going to get him perhaps. He's safe. And now Gant gets back to first, and he's out.
I don't know, Jack. It looked like Hrbek pulled him off the bag. I think the Braves have a legitimate complaint right here.
That was a close play. He was safe when he got back to the base, and he would have slid, he would have been safe and stayed on the base, and everything would have been fine. But the problem was he didn't slide. He came back in and to first base and ran into me and was falling over, and I kept the tag on him. His momentum carried him off the bag, and I ended up with his leg in my arm, like everybody's talking like I tried to pull him off the bag, but he was just coming off the bag anyway, so I just kind of more or less caught him coming off the bag.
I got there in time to, to stay on the bag and to, I was going to be safe, and I was going to plant my left foot to, to make sure that I stayed on the bag. And by that time, Hrbek grabbed my leg, and he kind of fell backwards and pulled me with him. So the umpire's right there, and he called me out. I couldn't really believe it, and I'm sure no one else could, but, he saw it as being out.
You have to get on the bag and be under control. And in my judgment, he was not under control once he got onto the bag. Everybody watches the feet on the replays, but if you watch his upper body, he's falling over, and in my judgment, his momentum after he hit the bag carried him on off.
The Braves did tie the game with a sacrifice fly in the fifth, and the anticipated pitchers' duel was on. The game remained tied at 2, but in the top of the 8th, Atlanta had an opportunity to take the lead. With runners on first and third and one out, Gant needed only to hit the ball anywhere, but straight up.
Pops it up, foul. And there is a play.
Now with 2 out, Justice was looking to atone for his first inning faux pas.
Come on, Justice. You gotta get it out, buddy. 2 outs. Come on, get it.
This is the most noise from this crowd all night. Into left for Gladden. He's right there. Inning's over. What a chance the Braves had, and they let it get away. They've left 5, and we're still tied in the bottom of the 8th.
Back to Glavine, who earlier had retired 15 Twins in a row. But now in the 8th, he was facing the pride of Mamaroneck, New York, Scott Leyes.
And he corks one into left field. Back at the track is Hunter, and it's gone!
Trailing now 3-2 in the 9th, the Braves were headed for a 2-0 deficit. For with Aguilera on the mound, absolutely no one was whistling Dixie. The Twins had swept the first 2 games at home, but the Braves weren't about to concede.
Well, if they're going to win it, they'll have to come back here and do it. I'll tell you that much.
Fortunately, we're going home, and it's nice to be here in Minnesota, my hometown, but I'm ready to leave.
But not even the Braves were prepared for what greeted them in Atlanta, where the long wait for a World Series was over. Everyone, it seemed, was enraptured by the Braves.
It's the chopping tour of 91. Tomahawking, I'm sure is fun.
The finishing touches were in place and the city overcome with excitement, which, as Game 3 approached, grew deafening. But not everyone was privy to Southern hospitality. As the fans at Herbeck know, they would have called that play at first quite differently.
I love it! I love it! Tip it! Tip it!
But they left no doubt about how they felt toward their Braves, especially their newly crowned savior, Steve Avery.
And of course, the big question is, can Avery do it again? He won 18 games during the regular season. Then he beat the Pirates. And now, in order for the Braves to be in any sort of a comfortable position, he's going to have to beat these Twins. Gladden hits it into right center, and Gantz on the move. The ball gets between them. That ball should have been caught. And Gladden's going to end up at third base. They hold him there. Well, that's the way the game started the other evening when the Twins were batting first inning Game 2.
And once again, the Twins capitalized.
3-base hit for Gladden is his first hit, and this will put Minnesota on top. Knobloch sacrifice fly, and it is 1-0 in favor of the visiting Twins. And some people thought that Steve Avery just might shut these Twins down altogether.
It was the first run in 16 1/3 postseason innings allowed by Avery, but he escaped further damage, and the Braves looked to get even. In the second, Twin starter Scott Erickson found himself with 2 on and 2 out.
Olson walked. He's at second. Mark Lemke got the first Atlanta hit. He's at first. Breaking ball. Base hit. We are tied. And the runners end up at second and third.
And so it remained tied at 1 apiece into the fourth, when Justice once again got the chance to redeem himself for his first inning miscue and showed that the bat was indeed mightier than the glove.
Hit it good.
On to the bottom of the fifth, where Lonnie Smith's image was further enhanced with 1 man out, and the base is empty.
To the top of the batting order. Lonnie Smith has struck out and fouled out to right. Lonnie Smith hits it well. There's another run for Atlanta.
The Braves scored still another run in the inning and held a commanding 4-1 lead into the seventh. Avery appeared in complete control, but a chink was etched in his armor by the heretofore silent Kirby Puckett.
Hit by Puckett, and that one's carrying a long way, and Mitchell can't do anything about that one. And that makes it 4-2, as Puckett gets his first hit of this World Series. And the Twins fans have an opportunity to root here in the 7th inning.
And that's the salute from the Metrodome in Minnesota.
But back in Atlanta, there was a bit more trepidation as Minnesota began to call on a bevy of pinch hitters to open the 8th. They couldn't help but see Alejandro Pena up in the bullpen in case Avery further faltered. For now, however, with a 4-2 lead, the game was Avery's, and the pinch hitter, Brian Harper.
Pendleton scoops it, grabs it, throws it, and safe at first. We'll see how they roll that one, and Harper gets down to first base nonetheless.
Because Terry Pendleton is such a good fielder, they're going to give him an error. Sometimes you're penalized by your ability.
That brings Bobby Cox out of the dugout. He didn't like the 6th inning or the 7th inning. The Puckett home run. Now the error, and he lifts Steve Avery. Alejandro Pena will come in and listen to this crowd.
Your attention, please, for Minnesota. Batting was
11 for 11 in save opportunities during the season. 3 saves during the NLCS, plus a 2-0 record. And Chili Davis, when they faced each other in the National League, was 3 for 10 against Pena.
Burn him, Jalapeno, burn him! Come on!
Top of the 8th inning. Tying run at the plate. Into left field. Mitchell back. How far is this going? We are tied on a pinch home run by Chili Davis. An error and a home run and a 4-4 game.
Jalapeno, you'll be burning us out!
But the danger hadn't passed, for with just 1 out, the Twins put runners on the corner. But Olson staved off further damage with a scoop.
Okay, Pena, you're smoking now, man. Let's go. Let's go, Pena!
In the dirt, and Olson saved a run.
Lucky Greg Olson's good.
That was a great catch, wasn't it?
Yeah!
What'll it be? Will Puckett snap the tie? Can Pena get the strikeout or the double play? Got him! Big strikeout, 2 out. It's a battle between Pena and Shane Mack. Shane Mack wants to do his damage. Pena struggling to get out of the 8th. Herbeck running again, and it struck him out.
Pena had survived, and though the Braves had squandered a 4-1 lead, they were fortunate to be tied. The tension became unbearable as the game moved into extra innings. Then in the 12th, a spark by Gladden.
How far are we going to go? Gladden hits it hard to right for his 3rd hit of the evening. Gladden singles with 1 out here in the 12th. And the Twins would like to snap the tie here in the 12th inning and then get Aguilera on his feet in the bullpen. The batter, Knobloch, he drove in a run with a fly ball in the 1st. And he has a hit, 1 for 4. Good hit and run combo up there. Double play ball. Whoa, right through Lemke. And it's 1st and 3rd with only 1 out for the Twins.
Yeah, that's a double play ball that gets you out of the inning, and it looked like what Lemke did. He looked up before he had the ball. Clearly an error.
Up next, Herbeck, followed by Puckett. A breakfast of champions better left untouched. So Atlanta counted with Kent Mercker, and an incredible scenario unfolded.
And Rick Aguilera of the Twins is now up. Tom Kelly sniffing a lead here. Hey, we talked earlier about Rick Aguilera and a batter. Wouldn't it be something for Rick Aguilera to pinch hit for Mark Guthrie, who is in the 5-hole now, remember. So if they get Herbeck, you might see a walk to Kirby Puckett to load the bases, even if runners are at 1st and 3rd. Just thinking ahead.
Tim McCarver's prescience proved perfect as Mercker met Herbeck head on.
First and third, the runner going again. Strike three called, and Knobloch steals second.
And that set up a World Series first since the designated hitter debuted in 1973. A shining pinch hit moment for a pitcher at the plate.
Puckett is up, and Tim McCarver right smack on the money with regard to what's going to happen.
And Aguilera is going to be the pinch hitter. What about this? Now, you know, this is unbelievable.
Top of the 12th, the bases were loaded, 2 men out, and a pretty good hitting pitcher at the plate.
Here comes Aguilera. This pitcher has a .203 lifetime batting average. A single, an error, and a walk have loaded them up. Braves should have been out of the inning long ago. Aguilera hits it into center field for Gant. We're still tied. 3 left for the Twins, who have stranded 10 and will send Rick Aguilera to the hill.
It was getting late. Every Twins player had been used except Morris and Tapani. Kelly was getting desperate.
We were probably going to play one more inning with Aguilera on the mound, and then I wasn't going to kill him, and I wasn't going to do that at all. So I was going to just put Dan Gladden out there and let him wing it up there, and Aguilera would play the outfield, and we'd go from there.
There began with 1 out in the bottom of the 12th when Justice lined a single into right. The home team fans began to stir. Cox, too, was running out of options and elected to play it aggressive.
7th pitcher of the night for the Twins is out on the hill. Runner going. Ball 1 and a stolen base, and the winning run's in scoring position.
After Olson walked, Lemke, who was almost the GOAT with his error in the top of the inning, came to the plate defiant, determined to make amends.
Lemke hits it into left field. Here comes Justice. Save! And Atlanta wins it.
The throw by Gladden, too late, and the Braves win their first World Series game ever. The little men have become the big men in this series.
And so the Braves had made their mark by winning their first World Series game. And a southern city so used to an early winter found itself in the throes of hysteria.
Kevin, go, Kevin.
Game 4 marked the return of Morris to the mound, looking to extend his success. His counterpart, John Smoltz, who was a boy growing up in Michigan, idolized Morris. And for extra incentive, he had his dad on hand, watching his boy play ball.
Come on, Johnny, babe! Hey, thanks, Hank. Keep me calm. All right, let's do it. Get that first one.
But 'twas the Twins who got the first one in the second inning as Brian Harper doubled. And with 1 out, Mike Pagliarulo proved once again that you don't have to hit them hard. Just hit them where they ain't.
Into short left, Belliard can't get it, and the run is going to be in time, and it's 1-0 Twins. A little blooper into left.
What a bleeder. What a fungo hit. Just a little fungo hit. Oh, well. That's a cheapie. All right, suck it up, John. Got a cheapie. That's all right, baby. When they score first, we win. Come on now.
With Pagliarulo now on second, it was time to put idolatry on the back burner.
This has got to be a thrill, man. Face your hero.
Number 47, pitcher, Jack Morris.
Come on, Johnny, get Jack right away. Oh, man, this is great. This is great. Get that Detroit Tiger, babe. Come on. Get him. This is it, Johnny, baby. Come on now. Yeah! Way to go, baby! All right, let's get that run back. Come on, Braves.
As the game moved into the third, the Atlanta fans grew restless.
Come on, hit the ball.
So, with 2 men out, Terry Pendleton responded.
Pendleton hits it very well, and it carries out into right center. Tied.
But in the top of the fourth, Minnesota mustered a rally of sorts, putting runners on the corners with 1 out.
Runner at third is Shane Bank. Reached on a fielder's choice. Pagliarulo's 2 for 2. 1 out. The batter, Gagne.
With the pitcher coming up next, squeeze situation right here.
That was the first thing from my mind, and my game plan was just to try to strike him out because the pitcher was coming up next.
Greg Gagne was having trouble with the slider hitting, so we went with the slider, and it happened to be low and away, and that was a real tough pitch to bunt.
Squeeze play, and they missed it. They've got Matt, and he's out. The other runner down to second.
Yeah! Way to go, Greg! Way to go, Gregory!
The unsuccessful suicide gave the Braves new life, but they were once again done in by a fundamental mistake in the fifth. With Lonnie Smith on second and nobody out.
Pendleton drills one to deep center. Lonnie Smith is going to head for third. Nobody out. They're sending him home. A late throw by Knobloch and out. Harper held the ball. Pendleton ends up at third.
That was a terrible base running play by Lonnie Smith. You don't tag up on a ball hit deep over the outfielder's head. You go a third of the way.
Well, my first instinct was to go a third of the way to halfway, just in case the ball fell in. I took a look at the ball as well as Kirby Puckett, the center fielder, and it appeared that he was going to catch the ball.
It looked like Puck was going to catch the ball, and I'm sure that's what Lonnie Smith thought, that he was going to catch the ball, so he went back to tag up, which is a good base running play to get to third base with 1 out, but all of a sudden the ball just kind of took off and went over Puck's head.
And once I saw that he didn't catch it, I tried to turn on whatever speed I had left and had hopes of scoring on the play.
I knew it was going to be close. I was concentrating, trying to get the ball, and as soon as I got the ball into my glove and also in my bare hand and to hold onto it real tight, I looked up and Lonnie Smith was right in my face.
So I knew I had no shot at going under him, and there was no chance of going around him. So my only recourse was to try to go through him.
He just nailed me. I mean, it was just a perfect hit.
I don't particularly like to see that type of play, only when it's absolutely necessary.
When the dust had settled, Pendleton was on third, but the Braves ran into Harper once again.
Here comes the runner trying to score. He is out. Pendleton is tagged out on another great play by Brian Harper.
What are we doing? That ball was not anywhere.
Into the 7th round, where with 1 out, Pagliarulo looked for the knockout.
Strike him out, son. Strike him out. Strike him out, Johnny. Right here. Pull the trigger on it. Pull the trigger on it. It's gone. It's out of here. Knew it. Tough pitch, son. You had him too, baby. Just suck it up now. Suck it up. Walk off. We got it. We're going to come back. It's all right, Johnny. Come on, babe. Dig deep, baby. Dig deep.
The hope and prophecy of John's father did not look like it would be realized in the bottom of the 7th. For even though the Braves had tipped their hats to a rally, it was Twins reliever Carl Willis who was turning the Atlanta hitters inside out.
We can do it. 2 outs. We can do it. We can come back.
Left fielder, Lonnie Smith.
Come on, Lonnie!
But with 2 out, Lonnie showed there was still some chop left in the wood.
Here's Lonnie hitting one a ton to tie it.
The sheer beauty of baseball was almost overwhelming. Game 4, the World Series. Game tied 2-2. A rally would cap the night off quite nicely for the Braves. But Guthrie had already retired Olsen. It was up to Lemke once again to provide the heroics.
Stepping into the box, I was thinking about getting on base. First pitch he threw me, I swung at, and it was a good pitch to hit.
One deep into left center field. That's being chased at the wall and up again. He's going to end up at third with 1 out.
I said I'm gonna take a chance here and I'm gonna make them throw me out, you know. And those are the type of things you got to do. I think sometimes you got to let it go and play aggressive. And I felt in that situation, you know, I'll try to capitalize on something.
After walking Blauser, Kelly elected to rest his fortunes on bedrock.
And now Kelly's going to come out and make the move and bring Bedrosian in.
Bedrosian will pitch to either Cabrera or another pinch hitter. Well, now Bedrosian is in the game. Tight spot for the Twins.
Bobby Cox made the switch to Jerry Willard, who is the pinch hitter with Mark Lemke at third base, Jeff Blauser at first base, and only 1 out. Long fly ball, the game is over. See how shallow the outfielders are?
This fella has played at Bend, the Peninsula, Reading, Oklahoma, Charleston, Cleveland, Maine, Tacoma, Birmingham, Vancouver, the White Sox, and he's had only 14 at-bats this year. That's going to be a winner for Atlanta. The runner tags at third. Here's the throw from Mack. Here's Lemke. He is out. Safe. They called it safe. And Atlanta wins. They were tied 2 games apiece. They said Harper did not tag it. Brian Harper can't believe it.
You've got to make the tag with the ball. Right there. See, he's got the ball in his hand, and the glove, he never made contact with the runner with the glove.
Another gut-wrenching game at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, and another unlikely hero in Jerry Willard. You couldn't blame the fans for being a bit off-kilter as the final game in Atlanta got underway. The Braves called on Tom Glavine to pitch the pivotal 5th game, and with a sense of deja vu, he found himself once again facing Kevin Tapani, who had pitched 8 solid innings to win Game 2. In the early going of this game, Tapani and Glavine once again dominated. But in the bottom of the 4th, Gant broke through Tapani's veneer and set the stage for some Southern justice. But the inning wasn't over, for with Olson on first, Lemke had another bout with Clout.
Now Lemke drills one into right center field. Did he do it? Off the wall. The run will score. Lemke going for third. He makes it. Who is this little man? What a perfect time he picked to get hot.
Kelly's heroes were being done in by the Mighty Mites.
There's a base hit in the left by Belliar. And that drives home Lemke. Double for Raphael, and it's 4-0 Atlanta.
The Twins could sense this one getting out of hand. As the Braves scored another in the fifth, Kelly dug deeper into his bullpen in the seventh, calling on David West. But all he did was put a Mr. October postscript on the storied World Series career of Smith.
Lonnie hits it high, hits it deep. There she goes.
Straight games. That's the first since Reggie Jackson did it back in 1977.
Lonnie's third straight home run game spurred the Braves to break out the bats.
Another hit. Canada will score. Gant to third. 7-3. In for the play at the plate and a hit by Hunter. And another run for Atlanta. 8-3. Another triple.
Lemke's second triple of the game and his third in the series turned even the neon lights out on the Twins. And as the only blowout of the series drew to a close, Atlanta got what it wanted, a sweep dream that came true. Three straight in Atlanta wasn't the end of the series, but it wasn't peanuts either. They needed but one more to win.
We intended to sweep. That's what we came here to do, and that's what we did.
With a theatrical flourish, the Braves were now one win away from the title. But they had to return to the Dome, where the Twins were simply perfect. The Homer Hankies were out in force for Game 6, and the revitalized Twins were out to stop the Braves' momentum. But which Erickson would show up? The 20-game winner during the regular season, or the somewhat shaky postseason pitcher? And what about Avery? Would he start another scoreless streak? Or was he ready to wilt from the pressure in the inning? Well, in the bottom of the first, Knobloch offered up an indication.
Base hit for Knobloch.
Knobloch now 7 for 18 in the World Series. Kirby, 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 Kirby.
The batter is Kirby Puckett. He's been cold, cold, cold. 3 out of 18. That's fair. He's going to score. Puckett for third.
Avery got the second out, holding Puckett at third, but somebody was due.
Well, of all people, who's up there now for the Twins? Shane Mack. 0 for 15 in the series. 0 for his last 2 at-bats against Toronto in the championship series. So he's 0 for his last 17. There's a hit. 2-0, Minnesota.
The Twins carried that 2-0 lead into the third, where with one man on, their defense painted one of those memorable World Series pictures that stand the test of time.
He corks it to left center and chased by Puckett. He caught
it. Brilliant play by Kirby Puckett. Watch him time the jump.
But though Kirby was brilliant, the Braves were resilient. And in the top of the fifth, they sought to come back. Rafael Belliard opened with a single. And with Lonnie Smith at the plate, the Twins made a rare mistake.
Double play ball, maybe. Yep. Only one, as Knobloch couldn't get the ball out of the glove.
A smattering of Braves fans then urged Pendleton to make the Twins pay.
Puckett chases it to the track. It might go. We're tied. Pendleton's second home run of the series ties it in the fifth. That's what happens when you fail to make the double play.
The scale for Pendleton was measured in feet, but the scale for Justice in inches.
Here's a smash by Justice. Are the Braves going to take the lead? Foul. Everybody off the Atlanta bench. Justice thought it was a home run, and the right field umpire made the call. No doubt it was far enough.
Oh, yeah. And it was a tough call for Rick Reed, the right field umpire.
The Twins eventually reclaimed the lead on Puckett's sacrifice fly, but this wasn't one of the all-time great World Series for nothing. And in the seventh, the Braves got to Erickson. Lemke began the inning with his 9th hit of the series, and the decibels in the dome decreased. Kelly went to the bullpen, but Erickson had answered any questions with 6 gutsy innings. Now it was Guthrie's turn to stem the tide, but a wild pitch and a walk had opened up a can of worms.
Single and a walk in the inning. Lemke down at second. Lonnie Smith at first. 1 out. 1-run lead for the Twins in the 7th, and Pendleton, who's had 2 hits, is up. And it's up to Knobloch. Bases loaded. And an infield hit for Pendleton, his 3rd of the night, loads the bases for the big Atlanta hitter, Ron Gant.
Out went Guthrie. In came Willis.
The World Series might be on the line right here. To deep short. Tying run scores.
That was 2 out. Come on.
Lemke crosses the plate to make it 3-3.
Now 2 were out, but a runner stood ominously on third. It was indeed hanky biting time as Justice sought to give Atlanta the lead. It was both a beautiful dream and a tension-filled nightmare, all wrapped up in one.
tied 3-3. Well, it doesn't get any tighter than this. 3-3 into the bottom of the 8th inning. Hunter sends us into the 9th inning, still tied 3 apiece. Ball deflected to Gagne. He gets one and a double play. Now the Twins could win it and tie it with a run in the 9th. Harper to short to Blauser. He got him, and we go into the 10th inning. Runner going, and a line drive double play, unassisted. Blauser gets him and sends us into the 11th inning. And again, Minnesota can win Game 6 with a little old run. Here's the new pitcher for Atlanta, Charlie Leibrandt. This is his 2nd year with the Braves, and this is his first relief appearance. One of the big guys for the Twins leads it off in the 11th. Kirby Puckett, he's had a single, a triple, stolen base, runs batted in, runs scored. He'll be followed by Davis and then Mack. Into deep left center from Mitchell, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Somebody's got a storybook, see? There's a book, and it's on page chapter 6 is over, and now you turn to chapter 7. It's a storybook World Series. What's going to happen tomorrow in Game 7, chapter 7? Oh, my God, I can't wait. It's going to be something. Can you imagine this going on like this? Unbelievable.
The fabled Game 7 of the World Series and a rematch of the Game 4 starters.
Here's the starting pitcher for Atlanta, number 29, John Schmaltz. Warming up for the Twins, number 47, Jack Morris.
The recognition that this was one of the truly great World Series was not lost on the players, who acknowledged from the start that everyone had won. And to nobody's surprise, a taut, nerve-wracking pitching duel commenced. The scoreboard remained barren as the game moved into the fifth. But against Morris, the Braves fired the first shot, starting with the hero of games 3 and 4, Mark Lemke.
And another hit for the little guy. That is number 10 for Lemke.
It is a guarantee that Belliard will be bunting on the first pitch.
Belliard had been quietly exceptional throughout the series. And in a game like this, one run could make all the difference.
Play will be to first, and Herbeck takes the throw. Now the Braves want something from their leadoff hitter with Lemke at second and 1 out. Lonnie Smith is flying to right, and he's walked. And he bunts. And the play by Pagliarulo, safe. First and third, 1 out. So Lonnie Smith says to Terry Pendleton, you do it.
Of course, it's easier for Pendleton to do it because now there's a runner at third and still only 1 out.
Popped him up for the second out. Shortstop wants it. And has it 2 out. So Pendleton leaves them. I said it the last time he batted. If the Braves are going to win, Ron's going to have to do something. Braves have left 4. Have 2 on, 2 out.
Then with one pitch, a pair of could-have-beens for the Braves.
In the dirt, blocked, the runner halfway, and he is safe. He got back.
One more look at Mike Pagliarulo, the third baseman. Lemke halfway, and he tries to get back. Look at the right knee of Pagliarulo. He drops down, but Lemke is clearly back in there. Good call.
First and third, 2 out, 3 and 2. Lonnie Smith will go. Runner going. Strike.
Well, I made a good pitch on him in a critical situation with the guy at the plate that I respect a tremendous amount. I threw a pretty good fastball and got him froze. And it was just, you know, sometimes you just have to show your emotions, let them go, and I did that at that point.
On to the bottom of the 6th, where this time it was a Twins' turn. Puckett drew a walk, and after Herbeck flied out to Gant, the spotlight was on Chile. With the veteran at the plate, a lot of bad things could happen to Atlanta, but so could one good thing.
To Bream, throws to second, gets one, and gets the return. Folks, this game is going to be decided late.
And so the stage was set for the incredible 8th inning of the 7th game, perhaps the most nail-biting complete inning in the history of the World Series.
It's all pitching here tonight. Jack Morris, John Smoltz, 9 hits total. The longest scoreless start of a 7th game in a World Series. Jack Morris takes it into the 8th, faces the top of the order. Lonnie Smith, Terry Pendleton, and Ron Gant. That's going to drop, I think it does. And that's the second hit of the night for Lonnie. On base for the 3rd time. Now what do you do with Pendleton, Tim?
Well, there are a lot of ways you can go. You can bunt, you can hit and run, or you can play it straight up.
Well, they went straight up and got 2 quick strikes on Pendleton, who then stayed alive by the skin of the ball.
dirt, says the third base umpire, Terry Tatum. And Pendleton is still alive on the foul tip.
So he foul tipped it, then the ball went in the dirt, and then it skipped into Harper's mitt.
With another swing at his disposal, Pendleton sought to make the most of it.
Pendleton into left center field. That ball is down, and a bad, well, it's off the wall. Lonnie Smith is held up at third, and he didn't do very good base running.
Well, that's what we were told, but it's possible that Smith simply lost the ball. It was a hit and run, or maybe he fell for the decoy by Knobloch and Gagne at second. The fact was, he didn't get thrown out at home. And with runners on second and third with nobody out, you had to think that somebody, anybody, would get him across the plate.
And we still have no score, but it's second and third and nobody out. The infield comes in now as Ron Gant comes up. Little roller, and they'll get an out without a run scored. They got Gant again. He's 0 for 4.
With one out now, Morris had to be wondering if Kelly was going to leave him in the game.
At first, Brian Harper came to the mound, and I looked at Brian and said, "He can't be taking me out right now, can he?" He says, no, I don't think so. And when TK came out, he smiled, which he's done several times when he's taken me out. And I just stood there like, I'm going to kill you if you take me out. And all he did was come up to me and say, I think we should walk this guy. He says, what do you think? I said, you're the boss.
Well, the boss called the shot and elected to put Justice on first and pitch to a man with but 3 hits in the series, Sid Bream.
Come on, buddy.
And the play is to home. Out there. Out there.
It was the biggest play of the series by far, but how could the bottom of the 8th ever top the top? Well, it began when pinch hitter Randy Bush opened the inning against Smokes. Bush had done his job, and now Al Newman came on the run. Gladden popped out after failing to sacrifice, so with 1 man out, the pressure returned to Knobloch.
About this young Atlanta hurler. Aaron Schwartz. Runner going. Base hit. First and third, 1 out. And who's up? Puckett.
First and third with 1 out, and Stanton came in for Smoke, who had once again outdone himself.
Well, wasn't this young man terrific? Took the game scoreless into the 8th inning, pitched 7 1/3, no runs, 6 hits, struck out 4, hit 1, walked 1, and gives way to Mike Stanton.
The Braves wanted nothing to do with Puckett.
You talk about brassy for Bobby Cox. I'm telling you, this takes a lot of guts right here. Bobby probably considers 1 run, you know, that's going to open the floodgate. What 1 run's going to win it? So he's playing it like the bottom of the 9th instead of the bottom of the 8th.
Al Newman, the runner at third. And Chuck Knobloch down at second, and they walked Kirby Puckett.
Ken Hrbek has struck out 3 times against Mike Stanton. That's why Hrbek doesn't like to face Stanton, but here he is facing him in the most important situation of the series.
And a line drive and a double play sends us into the 9th inning scoreless. So the Braves catch a break.
An amazing inning of World Series baseball had come to a close, and after the Braves went 1-2-3 in the ninth, the Twins began their half with a Chili Davis single and a bunt hit by Harper. It was on the bunt that Stanton, who pitched so admirably throughout the series, was injured, and Pena was called on to get the Braves out of a most difficult situation.
Here's a DeSantis. Lead-off single by Chili Davis. A bunt single by Brian Harper. Nobody out in the Twins' ninth. Let's see how Shane Mack plays it with 2 on.
One would think these teams had used up their quota of double plays. One would think.
And a ground ball to Lemke. They get 1 and a double play. The runner ends up at third with 2 out.
A strikeout by Paul Sorrento ended the inning. And for the first time in World Series history, 3 games had gone into extra innings. Once again, Morris stymied the Braves in the top half. The bottom half commenced.
We're piling up some records, and here we are, scoreless in the bottom of the 10th with Gladden, the batter, against Pena. Broken bat, fly ball's going to drop. He's trying. Save!
A broken bat looper and a decision by Gladden right out of the box had put him on second. Now the strategy was to get him to third. What followed was perhaps the most underrated play of the series, performed to perfection by Knobloch, the rookie.
Knobloch bunts, Pendleton goes to first. Lemke took the throw. There's the winner at third base, 1 out.
The Braves then walked Puckett and, somewhat surprisingly, the slump-ridden Hrbek to load the bases and set up the fourth. On came Gene Larkin, an unlikely hero.
Larkin is the pinch hitter with the bases loaded and 1 out. Minnesota bench hoping to get this winning run across here in the 10th. It's carried by Dan Gladden at third. Pena in a jam. The Twins are going to win the World Series. The Twins have won it. It's a base hit. It's a 1-0 10-inning victory.
For Morris, the most valuable player award, and richly deserved. For both the Minnesota Twins and the Atlanta Braves, the end to a glorious one-year journey from last place to a World Series that was simply the best.
We knew it was 1 in a million. It was such a long shot, but somehow we got here together, and who knows what will happen. Anything can happen.